Good afternoon. Today I'm talking to you about our mobile platform, Order to Comply. We now have the ability to conduct our OTCs online using our iPad, phone, or any cellular device that we have that gains us access to the internet. What we're using is the ArcGIS123 program to assist with collecting that information and sending that information out to the occupant, the person who's responsible for the OTC, as well as sending that information to prevention. So with this program, it allows us to reduce a lot of time in the field. So you don't have to worry about paper copies because all your information is here on the tablet. You don't have to worry about re-putting information in the RMS when you get back to the station. You don't have to worry about sending an email to fire prevention to let them know there was an OTC. All of that is done from this device once you complete the OTC on the survey 123. It sends an email to the occupant. It sends them a copy of the fire watch that is needed. It sends them a copy of the issues that are concerns, and it lets fire prevention know everything that's going on with the OTC and where it's located. So it should be a definite time saver for everyone. Also with this app, it does have the ability to work offline. So if you lose connectivity or you don't have internet, you can still collect an OTC offline, all the information. And once you get connectivity, what you can do is just go ahead and send it out and everyone will get the information. You do not lose that information. All right, let's go ahead and start with the survey 123. You go ahead and look on your mobile device. Make sure that app has been downloaded. We survey ArcGIS Survey 123. You'll sign in on the ArcGIS online. I always want the online version. Go down to see the ArcGIS organization's URL. You want to ensure that it says the city of Thornton. If it does not, type that information in and hit enter. Hit ArcGIS login. Remember, you want to log in as the station that you are at that day. So the login username is always the name of the station. Fire spelled out, STIN capital, and the number of that station is spelled out. So capital F, you want to use 5 today. Station 5, and the password is the same. You're going to fire capital F, RRE, capital STATION, and for the password, it's always the number, the numeric number for the station. Hit sign in. All right, now we have sign in. Occasionally you'll see something that looks similar to this. At the top, you'll see where it says updates available. And you have 2 arrows encircling each other. Always make sure if there's any updates, you hit that update before you move forward into any of the platforms. So make sure you hit updates so they'll go ahead and you get all the current version or current data that we've been putting on there. So once you go into survey 123, you'll see fire business inspections and you'll see order to comply. So with the order to comply, just go ahead, order to comply, open it up. And now we're here to collect an order to comply. So what you want to do, go ahead and hit collect. At the top, you will see that ArcGIS admin only. Leave that blank, and then you see inspection ID. Leave that blank. The archive is for prevention only to complete. Inspection ID is something the system gives the inspection once it's completed. Make sure you go ahead and put the business name. I'm just going to create an address here. It may not be the right one. Actually, I'm sure it's not, but put the address in here. Anything has a red asterisk, you want to make sure you complete. You want to put an email here. I'm going to put John Doe. This is the person you are talking to or the person who is responsible for making sure this OTC gets corrected or the issues get addressed. Phone number, always make sure you have a good phone number because this may be how the way that you want to contact a person or check in or something, or this is also how prevention will use to follow up if need be to go back on the OTC. So just put a phone number in. And if, for instance, just logged in as station 5, so station 5 is responding to this. And on, this is say it's B shift. The officer in charge, myself for today, is the one in charge. This says response district, and I would put response district in because with ABL, we are sometimes responding to locations outside of our station's jurisdiction, whether it's out of side of Thornton or whether it's just in the neighboring stations, like from 5 response to 3 or response to 4. So remember, when OTCs, the responding, for instance, if 5 is going to 4, 5 will go ahead and put the response district of 4. Because remember, the district that's responsible is required to go back and complete the OTC. So 5 writes the OTC, but they responded to 4 district. 4 district is responsible for going and re-inspecting that OTC. So let's say 5 responded to 4. Or we can say that 5 responded to, let's just say they responded out of district, out of Thornton, out of the city. So we're going to say outside district. Okay. Then at the bottom, you see the alternative district email comes up. And what this does, we have talked to the neighboring jurisdictions and we have emails for where this OTC can go to, so that district can respond, that jurisdiction can respond to the OTC that we wrote for that area. We had one call where I believe one of our units responded to this is Westminster. So with that, they would write that OTC instead of waiting on a battalion chief or any units to respond. They can go ahead and write the OTC, hit Westminster, and what that do is once they completed OTC, it'll send the OTC email to Westminster's Fire Prevention Division, and they can actually address the OTC that was written by Thornton in their area. So again, if you respond out of Thornton to a jurisdiction, you had an issue, you'll hit outside district and just look for the respective district. Okay. So again, let's go back to say that 5 responded to 4. And at the bottom below that, you'll see OTC due to failed life safety survey. This is for those where you've gone back 3 or 4 times on OTC, or that you've gone back on life safety survey. Now you want it to go to prevention. If it's due to a failed life safety survey and it's the 3rd time, you will hit yes. And the reason why you will hit yes, because that sends it directly to prevention, and we know not to expect any more from the shift to go to this district, this location. And again, if it's the short, this is always a short form. If it's just for prevention, you want prevention to respond, you'll hit yes. At the bottom, you see 1 of 2. That means there's only 2 screens to this one. You go to the next one over, you fill out your comments, non-compliant. Visit. Okay. And right down here, you put fire department rep, officers in charge, and put their information, you'll sign it. Then you hit the check mark. What that is that's a submit mark. You hit send now, continue this survey, or save in outbox. You send out, it'll go ahead, send it out. It'll send it out to the email you sent, you placed in the OTC. It'll also send it out to prevention. And like I said, if it was you responding out of Thornton's jurisdiction and you put Westminster or whatever jurisdiction you put in there, they will also get that email. If you hit the check mark by accident, you'll just hit continue survey to get back into the survey and finish what you were doing. You hit check mark again if you aren't ready to send it yet, or you get sidetracked, or there's something else comes up. You'll hit save in the outbox. And when you put save in the outbox, it'll bring up an outbox selection in the beginning, because before it was collect and inbox. Now you have the outbox. So when you're ready to go back and continue that survey, make sure you go to the outbox, bring that survey back up, select what you want. It's going to ask you want to complete the survey. You're going to hit yes. Okay, check all the information. That's done. You'll hit send. And it'll load it all up. That's for that one. So that's if you have an OTC or an order to comply with, they're not complying with you. Well, with that, it's at 43 when we started, so we want to refresh because we want to bring up that OTC. And on the screen, so we hit refresh, and how you get to refresh, let me go over that again. How you get to refresh, you go to the inbox, and at the bottom, you'll see list, map, and refresh. You just hit the refresh button. It just pulls all the OTCs that were conducted that are not in the system, and it just downloads it into your iPad. Because each iPad conduct its own inspection and keep its own log. So in order to get all the OTCs in this system for Thornton, you'll have to hit refresh. Okay. So I'm gonna bring up last one I completed. And if you're going back to, well, I'm bringing this back up because I don't want to create too many more inspections. So what we're going to do, so I'm going to hit edit, and it brings back the old inspection, the original inspection. So I'm hitting edit because what I want to do is change, make sure all the information filled, but I want to change that this is not due to an OTC. So, excuse me, not due to a non-compliant or life safety survey issue. It is due to, I responded to a call, crew got called out, responded to a call. Now they have to write an OTC. So when the answer is yes or blank, you get one of 2 pages. When you hit no, you get one of 8 pages. So what that means is that you're going to have more of a selection to address the OTC that you're trying to write up. So you hit the arrow, it says life safety survey hazard, fire sprinkler. Did I have a fire sprinkler issue? Yes, I did. So the sprinkler head activated and we shut the system down. So in your comments, if anything else applies, then you mark that or only mark what applies. So in my comments, well, let's just say accidentally and fire department. Oops. Okay. We want to take a picture of the head. That's the issue. We'll take a picture of the head, blow it up. Take a picture, it captures it, and adds it into that inspection. If you want to take more pictures, you would hit the camera to take pictures. If you have pictures from file, go ahead and edit from file. If you want to add a picture from, say like you might have taken a picture on the way in, you can add it from the library. Just add a picture and add as many pictures as you need. Okay, but if you don't want a picture, hit the trash can and it'll delete the picture. Okay, you got your picture. So sprinkler activation. So with the alarm panel, now I have a trouble on alarm panel because I shut the system down. So there's an indicator there's a trouble. You just say due to fire sprinkler. However you want to write to make sure you understand the notes and what to look for in that. If another crew is respond or someone else is going to respond, then they know exactly what the issue is. We go next. Food suppression system, there was no issue there. You leave it blank. Cleaning agent, there was no issue there. Carbon dioxide, nope, no issue with that. Then you get to requirements. Is Firewatch required? Yes, it's required. We shut down that system. So in this, you have Firewatch instructions. You want to go over this with the individual and mark it as you go over. So minimum from one person must be dedicated to Firewatch. We cover that with the person. Minimum one complete walk of facilities per hour. So each hour you have to walk these facilities. Make sure you cover that. Make sure you document your walks. Put down the information if you come across anything or any concerns. Document those walks. Cover that whoever you designate as Firewatch must notify 911 if there's any issues, any concern. You check that. And then it says need or updated facility keys. Let them know that that person who's conducting Firewatch must have keys to access all parts of that building. You check that. If there's anything else you see that you want to cover, please add that. And the reason why you're checking this information, because this information also is sent out as emailed to the responsible parties as well. And as for reinspection, yes, we're going to come back and check the system. It is a life safety system, so they get 24 hours to get it fixed. Or it says cleared, yes and no. You're going to click no because OTC is not cleared because we just wrote it. All right. If there's any additional pictures you want to, if there's any additional pictures you want to take or any comments, please do so. All right, make sure you print the name of the responsible party because we cannot read signatures, especially not on an electronic device. So always make sure you put their last name, their name, put your last name, and make sure you get your signature. Okay. When you do, again, you get the same choices when you hit the check mark, send now, continues the survey, save in outbox. We are done. We're going to continue. All right. So we sent that. Go to our list. We have 44. So again, we're going to go back. We're going to refresh because we're going to go back. We're going to do our reinspection. So we go ahead and refresh. With the reinspection, you can look it up. You can do a search. You can search for it by the person's name, anyone's name, whether it's the applicant's name or the person who completed the inspection's name. You can search for it by phone number, by business name, in here. Okay. This is the one that was done. We're going to do a reinspection. So we want to copy data to a new survey. So what that does is copy all the information that we put in and brings it over to a new inspection form. So we look all the information. If anything you need to update, you need to change the email address, change it. You need to change phone number. Anything you need to change. So before we had Station 5 responded into District 4. Now District 4 is going back and doing the reinspection. So you change to Station 4, B shift. And you just put whoever the officers that's changing. You put their information. Go to next. So you go back, they fix the issue, you uncheck the issue. Once they're fixed, you uncheck them. Our alarm was fixed. Had no trouble with those. No Firewatch is needed because they fixed everything. Reinspection needed? No, they fixed it. So is this OTC cleared? Everything is taken care of. We're going to clear that OTC. All right. If we're all cleared. Uh-oh, I can't spell. All cleared. Smith was still the one that we talked to. So here's Jones. All right. Make sure you get the other person's signature as well. Smith. Hit the check mark. Again, if we forgot something, continue with the survey. If we need to wait on something, you can save in the outbox. But we're done. I'm going to send now. Now you have just cleared the OTC. You can hit the refresh button as well. You have just cleared the OTC. You hit refresh. Now it's bringing up the cleared inspection. As you see before, it was station 5 that did it, but they responded out of district. 4 went back and took care of it. There's another feature we have in Collector, and this is just for a quick reference. You can download the Collector. And what you do, the first thing you come up is groups. And you want to open up order to comply. All right, this map gives you the OTCs in the city. You'll see little red dots and you see a blue dot. The blue dot indicates where the tablet is, your location. The red dots indicate OTCs. So as you see, you'll see an OTC at Fire Station 1. Reason why? Because I'm at Fire Station 1 conducting this demonstration. So I completed an OTC just now, we just did. And the thing about it is, if you complete an OTC and you do not send that OTC at the site, at the location that belongs to that OTC, or you wait and come back to the station, the survey creates a pin. Basically, when you send that survey out, it conducts a pin drop on the map of where that survey was sent from. So just be aware that if you have a red dot on the station, it does not indicate there's an OTC at the station. You're gonna have to click that to see where the OTC is located, because there may have been some internet or Wi-Fi issues that you weren't able to send it on site at the location. You waited till you got back to the station. So just be mindful. It's only useful if you actually send, and try to, as much as possible, to send the OTCs from the site of the OTC so we can get an accurate reading of where the issues are. So for instance, when you click a dot, it'll list all the OTCs that are there. And you just get the top one, it is the most recent one. And then I like this version because pretty much you get a brief idea. You get everything in one location instead of scrolling through the survey. You get one little screenshot, not screenshot, but you get to be able to scroll. Okay, it said Park is building 6, has my email, has my contact information, Charlie wrote it, and these were the issues: sprinkler shutdown, sprinkler head activation, had trouble in the alarm system. So you can make a quick reference of what you're looking at. So if you go back to complete an OTC, to follow up on one reinspection, you know what you're looking for before you even get into the system. We have the quick look of the order to comply system. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to prevention. Also, if you have any suggestions on how we can improve and make it a little friendlier and easier to use, please let us know. Send prevention an email, and we'll go ahead and partner up with GIS to create a product that is useful for everyone. So thank you for your attention. Take care.